There once was a tower, tall and godlike. The height of this tower? Unknown. What could one find at the top of such a place? Anything that is desired. The size of each floor? Immense. Within the tower live a wide variety of cultures and races, but they all breathe the same shinsu, which is a liquid that gives them superpowers and long life and stuff like that. There's only one phrase that could be used to describe this situation, and that is Tower of God. The story of Tower of God begins far before the comic's first chapter, thousands of years earlier, with the introduction of a man named Jihad. I'm just going to switch back to my normal voice now. So one day, 13 dudes from outside the tower entered and began climbing. One of them was named Jihad, and he would eventually become the king of the tower. So he and his friends, they climbed up 134 floors, advancing one floor at a time by taking the test of a big dude named the floor administrator. Each floor has a floor administrator, and they are semi-all-powerful looking lizard sort of situation guys. But they essentially guard each floor, making sure that you're worthy to climb up. But after 134 floors, Jihad decided that he and his homies would no longer climb because that was enough. And going to the 135th floor is against the rules. Before I go on any further, I just want to repeat what is mentioned briefly at the beginning of this video, which is I will be using the Line Webtoon official translations of the characters' names. So if you're like, but it actually says Zahard on this one poster that's got like Yuri on it or whatever instead of Volume 1, that's true, but the official translation is Jihad, so I'll be using Jihad because I think that's how most people are reading it in English, and I just want to be consistent with the official translation of the comic. So after becoming king of the tower, Jihad went to his friend Arlene Grace, who he climbed the tower with, and he's like, "Hey, baby, you want to be my forever girl, my wife?" And she said, "Oh, no, because I'm in love with V, who we also climbed the tower with, and also I had a child with him." Jihad is really not happy to hear this and kills the baby, and he's like, "Hey, did you see that? I killed that baby. That was really easy for me." And Arlene goes insane because why wouldn't you? She tries to kill herself, but she can't because 12 of the people who climbed the tower, including Jihad, got immortality after the 100th floor, but V didn't actually, and he ended up killing himself out of despair of seeing his wife's downfall and his son's death. The other 10 guys who climbed the tower with Jihad became the 10 great family heads, and they and their descendants are among the most powerful and influential people in the tower. Those who manage to climb the full tower are ranked based on their power, skills, and general influence, and are called rankers. All of the family heads are high rankers, like maybe double digits at most, and generally, if you're from the 10 great families, you're just cooler, more powerful, and sexier than anyone else. Being king, Jihad decided to flex his power muscles a little bit and change the way things were done around the neighborhood. He made it so that in order to climb the tower, you had to be chosen from among the inhabitants of the tower, unlike he and his friends, who just kind of entered on their own and climbed up without anyone's real approval. Some clown named Head-On, who's the top dog of the first floor, goes around the tower and chooses people to climb. These people are called regulars, and it's a real rough situation for them, where only the strongest, smartest, and most ruthless survive to climb to the next floor. The tests given by floor administrators have been almost completely phased out and replaced with tests given by rankers who have jobs in test administering and supervising. So the floor administrators mostly just chill out and make sure that powerful rankers don't cause too much of a hassle with their shinsu. Apparently everyone was like, "Hey, Jihad, buddy, you gotta get married." So he decided to occasionally give a girl who shows great potential a bit of his blood, making them a princess of Jihad. Because of his powerful blood, these ladies get even stronger than they were before, but they aren't allowed to have any relationships because spreading Jihad's blood to their children would be a very bad situation. Fortunately for Jihad, these women are some of the most angelic, rule-loving people who have ever existed, so none of them have ever had any relationships with anyone, and that will never happen ever because they're all perfect. The princesses all fight each other over the 13-month series, a group of 12 weapons and one weapon inventory that when combined form half of a key to the 135th floor. To shut up the people that wanted him to get married, Jihad was like, "Yo, whichever princess collects all of the 13-month series first will gets to be my lovely wife." In reality, though, Jihad doesn't want to get married, so he made an unwinnable game where if you try to use more than one of the weapons at once, you'll go insane and get taken down for being a threat. The comic opens with Arlene's child that Jihad killed. He's actually living in a cave underground because some weird yet-to-be-explained magic has brought him back to life. Even though he's probably hundreds or thousands of years old, he still looks and acts like a young child. And his name? The 25th Bomb. Probably because Arlene was really hungry when he got named. Anyway, the cave that Bomb lives in actually isn't in the tower, which means that Arlene had to leave the tower and bring his body with her. Bomb's only friend is a girl named Rachel who doesn't let him live with everyone else because she sucks. But to him, she's a gleaming light in his dark life, almost like a star in the night sky. As if it were a deliberate parallel to how Bomb sees her, Rachel's dream is to see the stars at the top of the tower, which is something that you can only do at the top of the tower for some reason. I'm not quite sure why she can't just look up because she's not from the tower, so there should be nothing blocking the sky, but whatever. Anyway, so Rachel tried to leave Bomb to climb the tower so she could see them stars, and actually succeeded in opening it up for herself. But psych, it was actually Bomb who opened it the whole time. She appears on the first floor and Head-On's like, yeah, you didn't actually do anything. Go stand over there and watch this super cool thing that's about to happen. And then Bomb rocks up. Head-On recognizes that Bomb is an irregular, which usually means bad things for the tower, so he decides to give Bomb an impossible test. Bomb's about to go for it because he thinks Rachel's already gone up the tower and all he wants to do is be with her, but he's interrupted by Princess Ha Yuri Jihad, a member of the Ha family and a top 500 ranker, as well as her guide Evan Edrock, who's actually a top 100 ranker, so make of that what you will. Yuri decides to help Bomb out because she thinks that he looks like a snack, and also because she thinks that he'll do interesting things as an irregular. She lends him the Black March, one of the 13-month series weapons, so he'll stand a chance, and he passes the test, so he instantly teleports to the second floor with the sword, leaving Yuri to track him down and get it back. Head-On then allows Rachel to climb the tower with the help of a powerful companion, given that she fulfilled a request for him. What the request is, however, is unknown. On the second floor, Bomb meets the first of his main companions, Kun Agero Agnes, a scheming, conniving, and devious member of the Kun family who starts following Bomb around because he recognizes the Black March and realizes that interesting things will be happening to this kid. Part of the reason he's climbing the tower is to chase after his half-sister Maria, who he's implied to be in love with, I guess. This is really weird because he's a perfectly good cousin who doesn't seem to be seeing anyone. The second main companion Bomb meets is Rock Wraithrazor, and he is the leader of the team, baby! He's a big crocodile man who wants to hunt the strongest prey there is up in the tower, and he instantly realizes that the Black March makes Bomb a formidable opponent. He starts following Bomb to let him mature into some powerful prey, but he quickly comes to care about Bomb and Kun. He calls everyone Turtle, which is endearing, I guess. He seems like a big dumb brute who only cares about fighting, but he is consistently shown to understand far more than he lets on. He's also a big dumb brute who only cares about fighting. The trio pass the first set of tests and make their way further on the second floor. One of the test administrators, a ranker named Lero Ro, instantly notices that Bomb is special, but doesn't report to the test supervisor Yu Han Sung, fearing that Bomb will be killed as a threat to the tower. In a side game, Bomb's Black March is noticed by Anak Jihad, the daughter of a princess who abandoned her duties and got hunted down and killed. Anak has her mother's Green April, which is also a 13-month series weapon, and she wishes to add the Black March to her collection. She ends up winning it in a bet that Bomb had no choice but to enter, and he's worried because he had only borrowed it from Yuri, and it wasn't his to lose. During this bet, Bomb is protected by a girl who he thinks is Rachel, but she tells him that she's not Rachel and her name is actually Michelle Light. He doesn't believe her because she's clearly lying, but figures that there must be some reason she's not telling him, so he doesn't call her out on it. He protects her from an attack and subconsciously controls Shinsu, which shouldn't be possible because he hadn't made a contract to do so with the floor administrator yet. All the regulars are placed in different classes to learn the roles they'll play as they make their way up the tower. Everyone's rewarded points for doing good things, and only the people with the most points move on. It's a competitive system designed to make people enemies, but Bomb manages to bring a lot of the people together, and a bunch of them become friends. This is where things start to get complicated because more and more important characters get introduced. There's a lot, so I'll keep it brief, but some of the stuff is important. Shibisu is just a dude who wears a tracksuit. He's really smart and the best character. Hotz is an edgelord weeb, but actually good with a sword. Princess Endorsi Jihad wants to go on a date, specifically with Bomb. This is because Endorsi's really considering jumping out of the display case, which is a consistent metaphor that has to do with shoes that keeps on getting brought up. She's initially hostile towards Anak, but she actually wants to ask her about how her mother felt running away from being a princess, because she kind of wants to do the same thing. Ponsakel Lore is a super powerful Shinsu controller, but he's always asleep. He's from the Yurasha family. Lastly, there's Hua Ryun. She's a woman who's very mysterious. Bomb hurt her eye with his Shinsu earlier, but she doesn't seem to have any hard feelings. Actually, I didn't mention Ho. Ho is a bit of a highly important character. Everyone that had passed the test up to this point starts to go to school for a little while. Bomb learns how to use Shinsu pretty well, and Rock meets the condition to pass early, so he's guaranteed to move on to the next floor. Everyone else gets placed onto one of two teams for final game where there's a lot of points on the line. The two teams compete individually at the same challenge against a different test administrator, a ranker named Quant. Although Bomb and Kun are placed on different teams, Kun is already guaranteed to pass based on his points, so he purposely throws the game to give his friends the opportunity to succeed. When Bomb's team starts the test, everything goes south. In a similar plan to Kun's, and Dorsey starts beating up her own teammates to make sure that her and Anak both pass. In the chaos, Ho takes Rachel hostage and threatens to kill her because life isn't fair. He was manipulated into doing this by Han Sung-yu, who used Hwarun to deliver a note to him that gave him the idea. Luckily, Hwarun had told Kun about this, so Kun manipulated Quant into being in the right place at the right time to stop the situation. Trying to buy for time and have people not panic, Quant uses a Shinsu skill on Bomb and tells him to use the same skill on Ho. Bomb actually manages to do it to Quant's surprise, but Rachel still gets injured. Having lost his hostage, Ho then kills himself. Dorsey and Quant finish the game, with Dorsey winning. Rachel is quickly rushed to the hospital, where it's revealed that she is paralyzed from the waist down. Rachel should be unable to pass due to her injuries, but Kun asked to take the floor administrator's test, the same one that Jihad and his companions took, to give her a chance. This can only be done as an irregular, of which Bomb is one. When this comes out, Kun thinks that people won't be on Bomb's side because irregulars and their friends are typically branded as being enemies of the tower. Luckily, everyone is super nice and decides to help him out anyway, which catches Kun off guard. During the test, Bomb's teacher, when he was learning Shinsu, shows up and tries to kill Anak. He reveals that he is part of Jihad's forces and killed her mother. Anak and Dorsey fight back together, but they are severely outclassed because this guy's a ranker. Fortunately for them, Yuri finally makes it up to the second floor, and being the super cool and compassionate person she is, she decides to have her men kill this dude and let Anak and Dorsey keep climbing together. She's probably considered jumping out of the display case herself for Bomb, if you know what I'm saying, so she must sympathize with Dorsey. She takes back the Black March as well as Anak's Green April. While this is happening, Rachel reveals that she wasn't paralyzed at all and pushes Bomb to his presumed death. She realized that Bomb didn't need her anymore with all his new friends and wasn't very happy about it. She figured that if it looks like she lost her best bud Bomb, people would decide to take her up the tower as a way to honor him, and in the process, she would get the princess treatment. It worked, and everyone who passed agreed to go up together, although we never see some of those guys ever again. Rip Hong Junhwa. Kun, who lost his actual best bud Bomb, is pretty sad about this, and he's real suspicious of Rachel. Nevertheless, he decides to help her out anyway, if only to betray her later down the line. Volume 1 ends with Hwarun walking up to the still-alive Bomb who had survived his fall.